Hey everybody, guys, this is going to be a great video today. I've got some press-ons and now they magically have their base color down and some matte top coat because I want to get right into this video today. Okay, this is a collaboration video. I collaborated with another content creator who happens to be a really good friend of mine, as well as a fabulous nail sister. Her name is Nelly. She has her channel here, Nails by Nelly. She is also on Instagram. I will have it up on the screen for you guys, as well as down in the description section. And guys, I've already watched her video and it is amazing, absolutely amazing. She does the most beautiful application, guys. Just, she blows my mind with how talented she is. And girl, I know you're going to watch this and you always be like, oh, I'm a beginner, I'm not a professional. But like, girl, you are something else. Okay, she does the most beautiful poly gel and gel nails. She's beautiful with acrylic and she's been working into nail art. So we had this conversation and we were talking about a collaboration and we picked a horror theme. And the movie we decided to use for inspiration turned out to be Nightmare on Elm Street. So this is a Freddy Krueger set. And so I am just going to tell you guys flat out, during the filming, my camera kept wanting to focus on my hands. I got it situated and figured out afterwards, but I went ahead and used the footage because this is the set that I made. And yeah, so there is going to be some skimming through. I wanted to keep the video short for you guys because it was all about this nail design and this collaboration and celebrating, you know, other fantastic, very talented content creators and doing something fun, especially for the Halloween season. And guys, I just cannot wait for all the other holidays. So I've known Nails by Nelly for a while now. We started off as acquaintances and nail sisters and just grew to be very close. And she is such a beautiful person. She has a beautiful soul. I absolutely adore her. She's always talking about being a beginner, you know, when she does her nails. And you guys, girl, you got to quit saying that because you are so talented. You just blow me away. And this was such an exciting opportunity to work together. And gosh, I cannot wait for you guys to see her video. If you haven't seen it yet, depending on when she posts hers, definitely go over and watch her video. You know, if you're seeing her first and came to mine, let me know what you think down in the comment section about this collaboration. You know, how did you feel about it? Did you enjoy this? So to Nelly, girl, you are absolutely amazing. I love you to the moon and back, girlfriend. And thank you so much for the opportunity to work together. I look forward to doing this again in the future if you want, because this was so much fun. I absolutely enjoyed every second of doing this set of nails. So I am going to give you guys a breakdown of what I'm doing really quickly. And, you know, like I said, we do kind of skip through some steps because I really wanted to keep the video at a shorter length for you guys. So, because it did take me a few minutes to make this set. So I did the black on this now, matte top coat, and then I went in with the white, created the blades. I went in with this tan kind of beige color and put a base down also for the finger pieces. Now I've went through and put some silver down because I'm building up some layers. I want some dimension. I'm going to go in with this no wipe top coat, and I'm pulling this from side to side because the silver does have shimmer to it. And even though it's cured, I don't want that silver to move through the rest of the nail. So I'm just kind of swiping that side to side and finishing the nail out. Once that's done, I will cure that for 60 seconds in the lamp. And then I will come back and I'm going to chrome over these blades. I want that mirror chrome and I want that brassy tone that the handpiece has on it from Freddy Krueger's little bladed hands. So I am going to buff that out, which I've already done, and wipe it off. I want a nice smooth surface so the chrome will stick to everything, and making sure there's no shine left. So once I know there's no shine, I'm going to go in with a 3D gel, and I'm going to put the 3D gel over the finger pieces and kind of build them up. I want them to be up a little higher than the blades. and I'm just going to put that on. Now this stuff is very, very fun to work with because it stays where you put it. You actually have to move it around. It does not self-level very quickly at all. I mean, it will level out over time, but it is a very slow process. So I'm going to get all of these done, and here's what they look like. So it's going to get in the lamp and get cured for 60 seconds. It's no wipe. It's going to make it quick and easy to put this copper colored chrome powder over top of it, and it's not going to stick to the rest of the nail because I buffed out that surface. It is so super smooth. And I'm just going to go through and apply that, and if there's any gaps or anything I miss in the application, I will go back and add a little bit more of the gel in between and do the same thing over again, trying to keep it nice and smooth so I don't have any lumps and bumps and have smooth application. But once I'm satisfied with that, I'm going to come in and do the blades. So I'm going to do the same thing with the blades, but I'm going to use a really, really thin amount, And once that's fully cured, I'm going to come in with a silver chrome, like right here in the video. It's got this mirror effect, and I'm going to rub that onto that. And I'm not worried about the chrome getting onto the rest of the nail because I buffed it out and it's super smooth. So once I get all that chrome applied and I got that mirrored effect that I want, which just turned out so awesome. I love the way that I did this, these blades, because they just mirror right back at you, just like real blades. It's so cool. So once I get that done, I'm going to take my cleanup brush and I'm just going to gently brush that excess chrome powder away from there. I'm not really making any contact. I'm not like being rough with it. I'm just barely touching, just a light air touch. Now I'm going to use a towel underneath it because that way I can rub any chrome powder that gets onto the brush onto the towel. Because if I just keep wiping over the nail, it's going to make the chrome powder stick onto things that I don't want it to stick onto. I'm going to go in and add these little blood drops, and just a couple on there. And I'm just going to show you the first one, and then I will skip forward to the nail being done. But I just put one on and kind of let it set for a second, flip it over, and gently drag it up towards the blade, just to keep that nice smooth drip. Flip it back over and check it, and if I'm happy with it, then we're good. So this is what it looks like. I added a little blood to all the blades, and that nail is completely finished. So we can move on to nail number 2. So we talked about this while we were planning the collaboration, you know, our inspiration. We talked about the blades, about Freddy Krueger's sweater. He's got this nasty green and red Christmassy sweater, and the way his skin is on his face, because he was completely burnt up in a fire in the movie, in the story. He was a caregiver who ended up in some kind of warehouse fire of some sort and got all burnt up, and then I guess came back to get, I don't know, his revenge on kids. And the story is pretty creepy. And this movie came out when I was really young, so yeah, it definitely affected the sleep factor for a while. So on my nail number 2, I decided to use the sweater as my inspiration. So I went through, I already had the, you know, red down. I had the matte. And then I came back in with this green mix that I made of a couple different polishes. I actually had a green, but I added a little bit of white in there just to kind of give it a little bit more body. And then I went back in with the green and the red and mixed in a little bit of black, just a little bit. Kept it kind of streaky because I wanted to put it on there in different spots and make the sweater look dirty. Because in the movie, in the series, his sweater is tattered and torn, and it's got ash on it, and it's just dirty. Absolutely gross. So I decided to go in over top of the red and just take a little bit of red with the black, kind of streak it through there to get this nasty, dirty looking sweater. And now that's completely done. So I'm going to go through with a little bit of black and put some tears on the top and the bottom, and I'm going to show you guys real quick. That's what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to come back with it completely done. So this is what the nail looks like, completely painted. I'm going to matte top coat it for now and set it aside so I can move on to my next nail. So here is the set so far. I'm going to go with this nude nail next because I wanted to play with the skin effect. So in the movies, if you've never seen the Nightmare on Elm Street series, Freddy Krueger is got burnt up at some point prior to the movie series. So he was a caregiver for children. He ended up in some kind of fire, got all burnt up, and hence the fact that his sweater is all charbroiled and tattered and torn, and his skin looks like it does. And so in the movie series, he comes back with a vengeance, after this horrible incident to haunt everyone's dreams, haunt their nightmares. And the scary part is in the movie, when he kills you in your dreams, you die in real life. So, yes, it's very, very scary series. And of course, this came out when I was a kid. And yes, so yeah, a lot of fun. But I decided to do the skin on his body. I didn't really want to just do his face. I wanted to just do the skin in general because his skin's the same way on his face and his hand. His other hand is covered with a glove and the blades, but his other hand, it doesn't have a glove on it. You can see the raw burnt skin, so you can see it on his face and his head and stuff. Now, he does wear a hat through most of the movies, but yeah, it's pretty gross. So I decided to go in with a pink builder gel in a jar, and a makeup skin kind of natural color, which actually kind of looks a little bit more rose colored to me in the jar. So I just alternated those products, and I'm just streaking it along the nail, kind of building up that kind of burnt skin texture on the nail. This was the first time I've ever done this, and this was a lot of fun. It was really quick and easy. I sped it up a little bit because I was kind of being more cautious and taking my time since it was the first time I'd ever done it. And I thought, this would be a great product to try this with. And turns out it worked out really well, really quick. And it doesn't self-level too awful fast. So I really like the result that I got from it. So I'm just trying to avoid going over the same spots. I want to leave channels because I'm going to paint the colors that I want to put on it in between all those channels. I could have done that prior, like maybe just marbled the nail and then went in and built up, but I just wanted that dimension, so I kind of left it like that. So that's what the nail looks like with all the texture in the lamp for 60 seconds. And here is what it looks like painted. I went back and just took my time and painted in between. I cut that out. I just wanted you guys to see the nail and the effect, So I thought it was really cool. So next I'm going to move on to the middle nail. So for this nail, I decided I wanted to incorporate this super scary nursery rhyme from the movie. So the old time 1, 2, buckle your shoe in the movie is 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again. And it's really scary. It's just that distant little kids singing all, I don't know, it's creepy. And so I decided I was going to at least put part of the nursery rhyme in it. I could have done a whole entire set by itself just for the nursery rhyme, which I think would be so cool as well, and have the other stuff in the background. So I decided to do the first line from it, and it did take me a little minute because it is time consuming to write on a nail, to try to keep it all nice and straight and even, and you have to look at it from the top of the nail and tilt it to the side and back and forth, because what looks straight from the side is going to be curved from the front with this type of nail, because I have structured full cover press-ons, and so because of the structure, the nail curves downward. So if you're going to write on those, you need to really watch it from the front as well as from the side, because what you think is straight from one angle is actually crooked from the other. So it's a little bit more time consuming. So I don't do the entire nail like on camera. I do some. I do kind of skip forward for you guys because I did have to draw it closer to my face to do some of the letters. And when you're doing it under camera and it's a little bit away from your face, even if you got it right there, camera kind of gets in the way a little bit, just a little bit. So yeah. But I took my time to make sure that I was satisfied with the letters. If anything, was kind of sticking out or anything, I took a flat square brush with a little bit of alcohol and pushed the line back up. Don't really swipe through it. So there is the 1 and 2. I'm going to go in there with a really small dotting tool. I'm using 2 sets of brushes for these nails. I'm using Votino's brushes, and I'm using my brushes from Nailzbynicolejcollection, and I love her dotting tools. Absolutely amazing. So in the lamp that goes, because when I do a certain amount, I usually go ahead and cure that out so I don't accidentally bump into it and ruin my work, because when you're taking the time to write words and letters and numbers, on a nail, go ahead and cure that out. At least flash cure it so you're not going to swipe through it with your finger or something by accident and destroy your work. I really enjoy writing on a nail. It is so much fun to do these little bitty letters and designs. Like I said, time consuming. And I wish I could have done this one on the thumb. I really wanted the blades to be like the focal point. So that's why I put them on the thumb. So I can make them really big and really extra. Really creepy looking. So I was stressed for space on this middle nail, and that's why I chose it, to do the nursery rhyme on, because it was my second largest nail. Actually, thinking about this nursery rhyme kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. Because I was thinking about it, and I was like, I kind of got it stuck in my head, and I was laying in bed, and I was like, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. And I was just sitting there like, oh my gosh, I hope to gosh I don't have some creepy, freaky nightmares of Freddy Krueger all up in my business trying to drag me off to hell or whatever kind of craziness. Because, when you start thinking about something like over days, then you kind of start like having weird dreams sometimes. So I almost sit down and rewatch the movie, which I have not seen in a few years. I have not seen any of the movies in a few years. And I always like to kind of do some throwback movies during the holidays, and I don't watch every horror movie during Halloween. I don't watch every, holiday movie during the Christmas season. But I'll pick like something I haven't seen in a long time. And there's some other sets I really wanted to do this year for Halloween because of some really old school movies that I remember enjoying a lot. But yeah, this one it just brought back all those memories in my mind of, how hard it was to really go to sleep at night after you watched it when you were really, really young, And you don't think about it, I remember when I was a kid, like parents, we watched some crazy stuff. Parents didn't really ever think about it, but now as a parent myself, I'm like, we're not watching that right before bed. We're not going to do that because I don't, want my kids waking up just from some crazy dream, but just going back and remembering that and thinking of that again, hearing that in my head all over again, it was just, whoo, just like shivers down the spine, Actually, to me, that nursery rhyme made the movie a little bit more extra, It just made the movie a little more terrifying. It was just like just the little songs and stuff from the horror movies, the music that would play in the movies, that signature music and stuff just kind of really added that creepy touch to it that really made it scary or terrifying. So, but the funny thing is, it's like when you're young and it's scary, if you go back and watch it as an adult, you're like, some of them, you find yourself laughing at them because they were so corny and ridiculous. But some of the older scary movies, even today, if you watched them again today, they're just as scary. So with all that spooky stuff aside, I'm about done with what you're going to see of the writing on the nail. That's what it looks like with the G on it, and I'm going to finish out the words, and here it is. This is what it looks like. I love the way this turned out. You just take a little bit of time. I think it turns out really good. And I'm going to go back in with some red, and I got to add some gore to this nail. So I'm going to take the red, and I'm going to put some underneath all of the words. I'm going to add in some drips of blood to make it extra gory. And yes, I love the way this nail turned out. You see a nice little blood drip right there. I love doing the blood drips because I think it really made this set a little extra creepy, and it was really cool. And this red gel polish I used just worked out really perfect for the blood effect. But here's what the nail looks like so far. I absolutely love it. I'm going to top coat it, and then I'm going to show you what the set looks like so far. So here it is. I think they're looking so cool, and I'm going to get started on the pinky nail in the video, but this is the second one I did, because the first one I did had these creepy eyes kind of looking at you through like a ripped background, which it was cool, and you're probably like, well, why didn't you show it to us? And I definitely can later if you want to say it, but I mean, it just really, when I put together the set, I was like, I'm not feeling it. And it kind of had this comic book kind of appearance to it for me. And so I was like, there's something else I wanted to do. And I wanted to do kind of a logo. So I went in with the white gel paint because you can get nice crisp lines out of it without it leveling out any. And I went ahead and did this rectangle on the nail. And I do bounce back and forth with it because I was like, this is not going to be big enough. This is not going to be wide enough. So I kind of started off with one rectangular shape, and I decided, like, no, it needs to be longer than that. It needs to be wider than that. I didn't want it to go all the way from side to side. I did want some red on the side, just a little bitty bit. Because the logo that I did, it didn't really matter though, but I couldn't do it from side to side on the nail. I had to do it lengthwise because it's a really long words, really long phrase. And so it was a little bit of a challenge because of the way the logo was made, because I didn't want to do it identical. I wanted to just use it as inspiration, for the nail. So you do see me kind of bounce back and forth from side to side. So I was like, this needs to be a little bit wider, and this needs to be a little bit longer. And when I finally got there, I was like, yes, this is going to be perfect. This is going to be a perfect amount of space to work in. So with this nail, I actually did not capture the entire design on camera for you guys because I actually thought I was in frame through most of this design, and come to find out when I went back to edit, though you can see me, I'm right there, somehow I ended up down south from this a few different times. So I do kind of skim through to show you guys what I made. And I'm going to go through and do a rough one first, because I do go back and I widen things out and I touch things up, but you will kind of see me go down and up and down and up. And I'm so sorry that I did that, through the filming of it, but I was trying to see what I was doing, and again, like I said, the camera was not in the absolute best position for you guys to see what I was doing, but you can get the gist of it. So these letters are pretty much wide and choppy looking. They're not meant to be super clear. It just kind of gives you that you can pretty much get the gist of what it is it's saying. So for the logo, it's like actually outlined in black, and it was so small, I was like, no, I'm not even going to try to attempt to outline that. But you can see that I kind of realized. So I'm going in there and putting an A, and that A is so freaking tiny. Is so little that I actually was like, I better tell y'all that that's an A in there and not like just a regular dot over the I, because in the original logo it does have an A for the dot. And like I said, try to keep it as true to the actual movie logo, but a little bit more abstract because I didn't want it exact. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this was a really cool nail for me. And I actually end up going back over all of it and richening up the color on it, because after it cured, it kind of had more of a like a pinky kind of tint to it with that white background, and I really wanted it to be super red. So when I got done, I went back over all the red and did a second coat, even over the matte top coated red of the nail, because I was going to do a shiny nail with a shiny set, because, you know, a couple of the nails I did like them with the matte effect, but, you know, I just decided to do them all the same at the end of it. So, yeah, you can see how we kind of skipped forward there a couple times. Now, in between a couple of the letters, the gaps, you know, in them, like in the A and the R and stuff like that, in the G, were so little that I actually went back in with just a little bitty dab of the white gel paint and just kind of dabbed it in there so you could, so the gaps would, because I was using a regular gel polish for the red, and, you know, it starts to level out. So I am showing you guys me painting in the first little word in here, but I do skip forward to it, and not really because I wasn't doing it on the camera, but because the glare of the gel polish with the light, I could see it. I could see it clear as day, but on the recording, you know, you really just could not make out what I was doing, because the glare kind of blurred that part out. So here is the nail completely done. I'm going to do the second coat of red and come back and show you guys it finished and top coated. And here it is. It looks so pretty. I love it. This turned out really, really well. And here is the entire set. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Nelly, for the opportunity to collaborate together. I had so much fun. And I will be back to show you guys the nails on my hand. So here they are in my hands, y'all, and I love these. These are so creepy. These are Freddy Krueger to me, like 100. I had a blast doing these. I thank you again, Nelly, girl. Love you so much. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go check out her video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.